Wake up, stupid!
You are now tuned in to the Mindless Morning Show. Here are your hosts, Nick and Josh.
Hello again, and welcome to the Mindless Morning Show, Episode 2. We are here to talk about traffic, cars, things about them that we don't like or do like, bumper stickers. I mean, we're going to go kind of all over the place, but try to stay in the realm of cars. So if you're here for the second episode, we're really happy that you're back. And if you are tuning in for the first time, then welcome. We're glad that you're here. We hope you continue and stay and be our best friends.
We want to be your best friends. Absolutely.
So I want to start off this week like how I want to start off every episode after this, where we talk about things that happened in our week that we feel are good, noteworthy. We call it the noteworthy section. So I'm going to start. The first one I have is we last week we went over to our friend's house and we're all like really careful about COVID and stuff. And that's kind of how this came about, is there were balloons everywhere for a birthday party, and they were helium balloons, but we were talking about them as regular balloons, you know, the old fashioned way. And she mentioned that we should call them COVID capsules. And I love that because it just cracked me up.
It is like that perfect analogy for what that actually is.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's literally the first time I was thinking, like, yeah, there's straight up people's breath in these things, man. Like, it really kind of made you think about it. So I thought that was kind of funny to share, and I just wanted you guys to know. Now, Josh, do you have anything to share for the noteworthies?
I do, man. You know, so I was going to I thought a lot about last week's episode, and I thought to myself, you know, I don't want Nick to feel real down in the dumps about him only buying Dr. Pepper and being shamed.
My brother out there.
So I took to Amazon, and man, they let me down. You know, I tried to order it, and it said out of stock. It said Nick bought all the stock.
Yeah, and that is actually one thing, because when we talked about that before, Dr. Pepper is actually going through a shortage right now. I don't know if you knew that, but it actually is.
I did not know that.
And yeah, like it's like a whole thing. You can look it up. I don't know if they are anymore, but I mean, I guess they are if you just tried to find some and they don't.
Is there a shortage on the spices they use, or what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, they don't want to tell us.
Oh my goodness.
They don't want to tell us what's in it. But yeah, so there actually is some type of shortage with it. But I don't know, maybe not in Texas, because everywhere I have gone, it's there. Everywhere. So I don't know if it's just through Amazon, but who knows?
That's really strange.
So yeah, I agree. Now another thing that I want to talk about that I think is noteworthy, and it actually happened like right before we started the show. I was getting Jude, my 2-year-old, ready for bed. And I don't know why he thought to say it, but it caught me off guard, and it was so hilarious. He said, "I just like pooping and hanging out with my toys." And I didn't know what to say, so I literally just said, "Nice."
I mean, what can you say?
I mean, that's greatness. Like that's a life goal. Like that's
man. Your kid's
good.
Definitely going places, because that's all life is about. Just pooping and hanging out with your toys. Even as an adult, like, what do? You poop. You still poop, yeah. And you just got bigger and better toys as an adult. That's all.
Yeah, I mean, that's true. Like, if I could just, you know, poop and hang out with my toys and hang out with, I mean, basically that my like equal would be just like playing Xbox or something. But God, it cracked me up. I'm like, I gotta talk about that, because that was so great. I'm never gonna forget that. Just happened a couple hours ago.
Definitely a good share. Dude, I'd be willing to like tattoo that on me. Like, I mean, especially because that's your kid's like quote right there. You got to.
Yes. It's not a bad idea. Right across my forehead. Caitlin will love it, dude. Straight up.
I will be more than happy to do the tattoo for you. Absolutely free.
Oh, and that's one thing we didn't even talk about last week, that you've actually done your own tattoos. That's cool.
Yeah.
No, we didn't talk about that. There's like a little bit of an intro that's after the intro, but
Yeah, you'll slowly learn about us over the course.
Yeah, and that's, that's part of it. So that was another one of my noteworthies. Josh, do you have another one?
Yeah, so for any gamers that might be listening, maybe they will appreciate this. I actually, because I had pre-ordered the Tony Hawk Pro Skater remake of 1 and 2. Yeah, so I got to like relive my childhood to like the highest degree. It was incredible. It literally is like the exact game. I can remember the really old, choppy, ugly graphics of like places I'm at, like just very basic, but now it's just a whole new world, high detail and everything. And I mean, the controls all feel so similar because I was able to just pick it up and play it. I just skipped a tutorial. I just wanted to play it. And it was awesome, dude.
Oh yeah. Yes, for sure. Now is the part where we fight, because
let's go. I'll get my dukes up. Ding ding.
Uh-oh. Now I'm scared. I grew up on those games too, just like you did. Those games, the first one, it actually is what got me into skateboarding when I was like in 3rd grade. Okay? Like, so much mad respect. I have no desire to play it.
Why?
Well, man, I played the Skate franchise, the one that's like a lot more like realistic, and that just totally took it for me, man. I just can't go back. I just can't. Like, I've got the Skate games on my current console, so if I want to play a Skate game, I play that, because it's just more realistic ragdoll physics. The tricks look, I mean, that's just me. Obviously, I'm in the minority. I definitely am, because everything I've read, people are just like, yes, Tony Hawk Pro Skater, like the remakes is just like, and I get it, but I just can't. I don't want to spend the money on it just because I
you know what, man? I gotta say right now.
I know. Don't log out.
Nah. I will say though, I am shook.
Oh, man, here we go. I'm literally shaking.
No, I mean, to each his own. It is what it is.
Yeah, you're taking the high road. I like it.
Well, because everyone has that game that's nostalgic to them. Like I said, like our previous episode, everyone has their own game, and there's just so many out there. Now, I personally haven't played Skate, so I can't necessarily like comment to it, and I honestly can't even remember like. I don't know. I can't even think of like seeing any trailers or anything like that.
Think about pure joy.
I mean, I'm a big fan of ragdoll physics. Don't get me wrong, but like when it comes to skating, like hands down, it's always going to be Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Like just as if like if I were to say like the one and only snowboarding game, it's obviously SSX.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. But now I'm on a mission to try to somehow get you to play Skate, because it's incredible. And it's so fun.
Hey man, if you want to send me a copy, that's cool.
Well, it costs money though.
Well, I guess you don't want to try that hard, huh?
Well, I guess not. I'm over it. Okay, so I have another noteworthy. And here's another thing I'll say. The noteworthies, they're going to be different like every week. I have no idea where it'll go or how long it'll take. We're just having fun with it, depending on our week. So obviously, it's going to be different every time. But I am going to mention this on my noteworthies, is that I got my wife to believe that I pushed our 2-year-old so hard on the swing that he did a full circle around the swing set.
That is awesome.
Yes.
I didn't even know swing sets can do that.
Oh, and they can if you're psychotic and you like seriously, like I've seen it done on YouTube where the guy had like a ladder and he jumped off the ladder and like pushed his friend like while falling and like gave it this massive like superhero throwdown push. Then he did a circle on the swing sets. And I have told Caitlin about that video before, So when I told her that I pushed Jude on the swing set and he did a full circle, I made it believable. But at the same time, I was like, she had to have remembered that video and had an image of me like jumping off of something to like push her 2-year-old son to do a full.
So like, did you get your son in on it? Like, was he like, yeah, we did it?
No, I didn't. So she wasn't there. It was over text message. It was the same day. It was the same day that the COVID capsules was coined for balloons. And
okay.
So she was at home and I was there, and I texted her. I said, "Hey, if anyone says anything about it, don't freak out. But I made Jude do a full loop around the swing. He thought it was funny, but we're not going to do it again." And she replied back, "WTF, are you kidding me?" And I'm like, "No, but he didn't get hurt, and he didn't he thought it was funny, but I'm not going to do it again. I just wanted to tell you in case they bring it up later." And then she was like, "How did you know? What? What?" And I'm like, "Yeah, like I said, I'm not going to do it again. Like, it's all good."
I don't know, man. Something like that drastic, that's one of those things that like I have to be there and like I have to tell them straight to their face to see their reaction, because that's the best part.
Yeah, but I knew she wouldn't believe it if it was verbal. Like, I knew it. She would just be like, "No." But if for some reason I feel like text messaging and just kind of throwing it in there, like, he thought it was funny, but I'm not doing it again, kind of just, I don't know. Like, just the way that I played it off made it seem believable.
See, man.
But it was great. It was good enough for me. It was good enough for me.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I love gullible people, and shout out to my grandma for being the most gullible person I know. When I lived with her, oh man, yeah. It was the best. The amount of like random thing. I kept her mind sharp, man.
That's awesome. Well, I mean, that's good. I mean, in like some kind of weird way, it's a brain workout. Yeah?
Yeah, no, that's exactly how I looked at it, so it wasn't that bad.
Yeah, okay, well, perfect. Do you have another noteworthy to throw out?
Well, I would like to add, love you, Grandma.
Loser. No, I'm kidding, that's good. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. Come on. Wow. No, the 7 billion people that are listening, because everyone in the world is listening now, are all mad at me, because apparently I don't like grandparents. Not true.
Yeah, man, all my friends loved my grandma. If you knew my grandma, you would love my grandma too.
I do. I already do, man.
But yeah, no, the only other but the noteworthy thing I have is, so this weekend I got to watch alright, so maybe like a little earmuffs for the children.
Here we go.
I got to watch my friend kill their first bunny it was for harvesting purposes. They are farming and growing their own. They are loving them along the way. They have a really nice life.
And then what happens, Josh?
Well, you know, like all things, all come to an end. And yeah, but you know, for the greater good, for the protein, the nutrition, and educational purposes.
But like, how filling is a bunny? Because it's like, I guess I could say the same thing about doves, because people go dove hunting and like you kill a dove and it's like, this is like one bite of food.
Well, I mean, keep in mind, like I said, they have like a little home for them, so like they fatten them up, man. They feed them good. They get them good, and they're good eating, man. I've had rabbit. If you haven't, try it. It's delicious. If you're mortified, I am so sorry. Yeah,
but hey, this is like a stew. You never know what you're gonna get with us. It might be bunny.
Watch out, Doc.
Like, what? Oh, nice. Well, that's interesting. So if you guys have any questions about that for Josh, let him know. Or if you want to be like, you know, bunny killer advocate, that's cool too. Like, you can just go nuts.
Yeah. Either way, I'll come with me.
So I have another one too. I kind of have two more actually. The first one is kind of like a me and Josh thing. So last week when we did our pilot, we screwed it up royally. Now, what I mean by that is we recorded the whole thing, almost the whole thing, and we realized that the little bot that we use to record these podcasts decided to like leave right when we started. So we were doing the podcast and not being recorded at all for 40 minutes until we realized that, hey, the bot's gone.
Yeah. So we managed to get through about a good 40 minutes of material. And then at some point I had realized I had gotten a notification 30 minutes prior that the bot had disconnected, to which I did not see. I did not notice, had no idea it even messaged me. And we lost everything.
Yeah.
So
I was like in the middle of talking, and Josh's like, dude. And I'm like, what? He's like, the bot's gone. What? Like, no! It was terrible.
Yeah.
So, and I will say, though, that nothing that we're doing is, like, scripted thoroughly. Like, this is all just kind of off the dome, just talking. But we do have, like, notes and stuff. So it's not like we were word for word having to redo everything, but dude, it was still like kind of crushing. It was like, we're going to do a podcast. And then all of a sudden we're doing one episode and like, oh man, we got to like already redo the first one.
All right. No. Yeah. We're not scripted though, by any means.
Yeah. So I just wanted to throw that out there. We're nowhere near, I don't know. I mean, I feel like we're doing all right. I feel like we're doing okay.
Yeah, no, we definitely had a rough start, and we got some feedback, and we appreciate all the feedback.
Yes, and I will say that we are really thrilled and humbled, really, because we got a lot more feedback and a lot more listens than we thought we were going to get, and it was incredible. Like, you guys are awesome. Like, seriously.
Absolutely, we appreciate it very much so.
So, really massive thank you, and we're going to keep doing what we're doing because apparently you liked it the first time, so let's try it again. And I've got one last thing to say that's in my noteworthies, and this last week, my 2-year-old boy, the boy that did not do the loop around the swing, he broke the family laptop.
How so?
So, he threw a Spider-Man action figure at it and hit it right in the screen, and the whole screen like spider webbed. So no more laptop for now.
Wow. You know what, man? I heard Wayfair's got like a thing going on. Maybe you can make some money. Get rid of them.
Oh boy. Well, anyways, yeah. But that's not even the craziest part. I mean, it's crazy, don't get me wrong, but the craziest part is a couple weeks before that, all right, maybe a couple months before that, he broke our TV.
Wow.
The same way.
What?
The same way. Yes. The dude loves...
So what is he trying to do?
I don't know, man. He loves throwing his action figures. I don't get it.
Is he trying to like throw them into the world? Does he think that works?
Well, what's even more like frustrating is he's not even throwing the right ones. Like, if you're gonna throw one, make sure it's one that could actually fly, like in comic books. Like, he's throwing ones that aren't flying. He did throw Spider-Man at the laptop, and I kind of give him partial credit because Spider-Man can, swing around. But the first one he threw was like a Wolverine. Like, Wolverine doesn't fly. Come on, man. Like,
but why does it have to fly? Maybe he's sitting there thinking like that TV is a portal. He's about to just throw his Wolverine action figure into that show. That'd be dope.
Yeah, but you know what? He didn't say that, so I don't believe it. And if he did say it, I'd be kind of weirded out because my 2-year-old's sitting here talking about portals and stuff. I don't know. It'd be like, what are you?
Dude, he's already got life figured out by pooping and hanging out with his toys. So
and chasing mom crying. He does that a lot too. That's right. I told on you, kid. So, and I will say, broke the TV, and I've got 2 other kids. If you guys listen to the pilot, you know, or if you took the quiz that we had at the end of it. No, I'm just kidding. No quiz. That's weird. But my other 2 kids, my girls, they each, and this obviously did not happen last week. That would be infuriating. But they broke a TV as well in our household, but they did it a totally different way. My 9-year-old, when she was 3, she broke a TV by spraying it with cleaner. Like, I mean, totally dousing it with cleaner to where it was just drenched and there was cleaner dripping out of the bottom of it. And we were like, why did you do that?
Was she actually trying to clean it though?
Yes. She was. She was trying to help mommy clean.
Yeah. So I mean, you can't. Man,
yeah, I know.
I'd be so mad though.
Like, we were cool, dude. We were cool about it. She only had to sleep outside for a few nights. It's not a big deal. like we were just like, all right, you did this, you broke it, you got to sleep outside. No blankie, none of that. You know that you're done. But no, we didn't really do that. Don't call CPS. So she did that. And then my 4-year-old a year ago, at the age of 3, guess what? She doused the TV with cleaner. She did the exact same thing her sister did years before.
Yeah, so you know her sister said, like, hey, try this out, see what happens.
No. She did it the same way. Ava was at school, and she did it when Caitlin was cleaning. She was cleaning, and she just said, I'm going to help Mama clean. Just like Ava said, the same thing. Doused it. So we went through 3 TVs in 9 years, which I don't know if that's good or bad when you have kids. No idea. So if anybody has any idea about the average lifespan of a television when you have kids, let me know, because that'd be interesting. So yeah, 3 TVs and so electronics. That's why, like, is the laptop I'm using now, the one that I work on Guildmaster with, and the one that I'm using now, kind of like, nobody touch it, please. Like,
yeah, no, see, dude, my daughter won't touch any of my stuff. She's gonna have to get the hand-me-downs later on down the road.
No kidding. Yeah, no kidding. So those were our noteworthies. I don't think I've left anything out. I don't think Josh has either, and I speak for Josh.
Yes. Yes, master.
Shut up. Okay, so we do actually have a couple of things that we want to say. A shout out, because we got our first Patreon supporter, which is extremely awesome and something that I wasn't expecting. So, do you want to do the honors there, Josh?
I would love to. I'd like to give a huge, super, super huge and humble shout out to Andrew Beers of Strange Brother Games. He became our first patron and supported us through the podcast. And let's get into just a little bit about him real quick, so some of our listeners, if they're interested, can check him out. He's also a game developer. That is how we met him, through that community.
Yes.
And he is currently working on a game that is just pure nightmare fuel. Like, he's doing some 3D models of creatures that they are just creepy, man. But the game he is working on is Last March of the Red, and it's supposed to be released in the second quarter of 2021 for PC. So if you guys are interested in a grim tactical survival game of pure nightmares,
yeah,
be sure to check it out. We're going to link his YouTube channel, where he shows a lot of his artwork, his creative pipelines for the game development. And thank you again, Andrew. We really appreciate it.
Awesome. Like, such a badass name, Last March of the Red. I love that. That's
yeah. Oh, I thought you were talking about beers at first.
Okay, well, that too. I mean, that's pretty epic. And like, I remember saying like I'd like to have him on the show, and I would. I do want him to have him on the show to hang out with us and be like a guest. But I was like, let's call it like Beers with Beers, you know? And then I was like, I'm not sure if he drinks. And so I thought, how about we do like Beers with Nick and Whiskey with Josh, and Andrew's here. Good segment name. No.
It'll work.
So yeah, and then we also just want to thank you guys again for joining in on this and hanging out with us, because we did get some suggestions for some stuff, and some of you guys reaching out. It's really cool. We got some critique. Basically said, you're perfect, don't change a thing.
Yeah, well, I mean, Nick, you were perfect. I needed to speak up a little bit, so I'm hoping that I am meeting everyone's standards today. What's up?
What? Yeah. So it was great, and that's not gonna like end right now. If there is any critique that you think you want us to do or say, or if you want me to talk the entire show in an old person voice, I won't do it. I won't do that.
Always room for improvement. Always lay down the hammer of judgment.
Yeah, exactly. So next, I think we could get into some stories that relate to cars, driving, that sort of thing. That's kind of our main theme of the show, except you've already kind of seen that our noteworthies are just all over the place. But that's different. That's totally different.
Yeah.
So I do want to say that the first story of the entire podcast here, at least on this episode, is coming from a friend who wanted to share a story that happened to her. Her name is Eloise. She is a part of the Guildmaster community. We talk all the time. Really great friend to all of us. And she had a story. So this happened when she was in college around, I think she was like 18 or 19. And she was in an area where there was a lot of wealthy people. And one of the subject of the story is a young man who was very, very wealthy. Not a problem with that. That's fine. But this dude was like wealthy to where he would like rub it in your face that you're not wealthy. Like he would straight up go to the school with a 4,000. I'm not making this up, obviously, unless she is, but she's not. But he was one of the types of rich kids that would rub it in your face that you aren't, as wealthy as he is. And he actually would bring his $4,000 gold-plated laptop to school casually, just like not a big deal.
Wow. You know what? I can't stand people like that.
Yeah, dude. So if you're already kind of like cringing at this dude, just wait, because he kind of gets what's coming to him. So he gets a brand new car. Like the first day he brings that car to the school, he
doing donuts outside, acting all cool.
Way less cool than that, dude. Like, I mean, way less. Like, it's humiliatingly not cool what happened. But she was with some of her friends on the bus going home. Not a school bus, like a city bus, right? Going home. And there was so much traffic. They were waiting for like 40 minutes and finally said, screw it. Like, we're just going to walk home. It's faster than this. So they got outside and they were starting to walk, and they walked by his brand new car, and it was rolled over and totaled. And no one knows why. Like, I mean, they were trying to ask around, like, what happened? And it was in a 20 mile per hour speed limit street. And he somehow flipped his car, brand new car. And
I know what happened.
What? He rode on a guardrail?
Karma happened.
Get it? Karma? Oh. sorry. I had to get a cheap laugh on there. Yeah, totally flipped it. And I asked her, I was like, did he die? Because...
Oh, yeah, no, we probably shouldn't laugh. Is he okay?
No, he died.
Oh, man.
No, I'm kidding. No, he was fine. Nobody was hurt at all. It was like everybody was fine.
Good, so. Serves him right.
Now you suck. Soon it was going to be like, oh, well, hope you rest in peace. Really sad. And now it's like, well, you got what you deserve.
Oh.
So, yeah. And apparently the people that are in her community still talk about it. Like, you remember when that dumbass flipped his car? Like, at 20 mile per hour. Yeah, so... I thought that was funny, and I'm really glad that she was like cool with us sharing that, and she wanted us to share that. So, Josh, I want to hear a story from you now.
I can give you stories. First, I would like to add, if anybody does happen to drop into the server for Guildmaster game, the link is in the description of the first episode. Elo is what she goes by. She is super
Eloise.
Cool.
Yeah. Really cool. She's a programmer too.
Yeah, definitely give her a shout out. She's cool peoples.
Yes, indeed.
And now on to my wonderful story. So, all right, so, some of you guys would know I live in Florida. We have the worst of all drivers around the world, all congregated on this one little peninsula that we call Florida. And it is just absolute chaos.
That's awesome.
And I mean, I used to have to drive around quite a bit. I hate driving. I absolutely hate driving. I used to, like, when I was young and about to get my license, I would think, oh yeah, I can't wait to drive. Oh, I'm going to be a natural, which I was, but I still don't like it.
Oh, yeah. I didn't slid that in there. Like, I was a natural, though. Just got to let you guys know. I'm really good at it.
I was so good. Yeah, so if anybody that lives like around the Orlando area and knows of the road OBT or Orange Blossom Trail, that's where a lot of weird things happen. Like, I don't know why. That's just the street. That's the legend of OBT. And yeah. So I most of my stories are going to be coming from this street in particular. So the first one I'll share with you guys is one that like I think caught me off guard the most. It was just the one thing I don't think I ever would have expected just driving down the road. Honestly, this dude probably came from Gatorland. I have no idea. But he had a guy walking down the side of the road on the sidewalk, had like probably a 7-foot like white and yellow python wrapped around his neck, like hanging down. He is just, dude, strutting down this sidewalk.
That's all he was wearing, Noah.
And thankfully, like, I got to a red light, and I'm looking at this guy like, why does he have that? And as I'm, like, watching him, I'm noticing people from, like, far away, like, dude, they're, like, just running across the street playing chicken, like dodging traffic, playing Frogger, just to get away from this guy. I mean, why? Like, why else would this guy be walking down the street with a 7-foot python? I'd be kind of scared too, you know?
I know, me too. But it is funny that there's somewhat of an overreaction because the python, I mean, I was gonna like jump off of his shoulder and like wrap around you like some type of cartoon character creature. Like, whoa.
Oh, for sure, no. But I mean, there are those people that just have like deathly fears.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people that don't like snakes, so I definitely get it. But that's
yeah. I mean, honestly, like I wish I had nothing to do that day. Like I probably would have just followed him and checked it out. But I had to get wherever I was going, so I couldn't.
Yeah. Oh. Well, I'm gonna follow you, man. This is very interesting,
dude. I would. It was too crazy. It was just one of those things I couldn't believe.
I love it. All right, so that was good. I've got.
Yeah, top that, man. What you got?
What you got, man? No, I've got something it's not really that great, but it was random, and that's why it came to my mind when we were talking about doing this episode. I was just kind of thinking about it's making me laugh, but I was at a red light. It was like 10 at night, dude. And I was at a red light and I looked over to my left and the guy in the car next to me had a gallon of ice cream in his lap and was eating it with a giant wooden spoon. Just right after. I don't know why. It just cracked me up. And I don't know why. Like
he was having a really bad day.
Or a really good day. I don't know. Maybe that's a good finale for you.
Yeah, I guess.
He had like he had like one of those big like wooden pasta stirring spoons, and he's just like, and it was like a gallon of vanilla ice cream on his lap, and I just, all right, you do that, man. Like that's.
I don't know, man. There's got to be more to that story because, like,
yeah,
he obviously just bought that gallon tub of ice cream. And did he just buy that spoon? Was that really the spoon of choice? Is that the only spoon available for this guy?
Yeah. I now I wish I'd I don't know, had the balls to be like, down.
Hey man.
Hey, what is it with the ice cream, dude? Like I gotta know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it cracked me up though. I'll never forget that. It just. Yeah.
I just feel like there could have been so much better.
Yeah.
So much better spoon options.
Yeah. Or like what if he like just desperately had to I need ice cream now. So he just stopped at like a gas station and bought it and he's like, damn it, there's no spoon. He's like looking around his car and he's like, there's a wooden spoon on the floorboard.
Probably had like SpaghettiOs dried up on it and stuff.
They just pick off the dried noodles off. Yeah, I mean, I love it. I just have no clue, and I'll never know, and that's just a tragedy of life.
I wouldn't call it a tragedy. That's just a beautiful mystery, man. It always keeps you guessing.
Dude, it was beautiful, and yeah, cheers to that man for sure.
Me and a few buddies of mine, when we were, young, dumb, and full of cum, and didn't give a shit about anything, thought we were.
You're still dumb.
When we thought we were invisible, though,
Oh yeah.
And driving around, probably couldn't get away with anything like this today. People would like really freak out.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so my buddy, I had just gotten like this gorilla mask, and like it's one of those cool ones. Like it kind of like straps close to your face so that when you open your jaw, the mouth will open and like the eyes kind of cringe and look scary. Yeah, so my buddy put it on in the back seat. And like me and like four of us were all just in this car just acting stupid, dude. Blasting music. This is when I had like a really nice sound system in the back of the trunk, so like just bumping, being super obnoxious, really.
Being a Floridian, huh?
Yeah, exactly.
You're one of those people.
Yeah, I was embracing my true Floridiate.
I like it.
But no, the one point we came up to a red light and we pull up next to this car and my buddy is just like dancing, going crazy. We see this kid in the back seat and he is just looking at him like terrified.
How old was he? Could you like give a ballpark?
Dude, the kid probably was like maybe 6 or 7.
Holy crap.
Absolutely terrified of whatever he's witnessing. This dude just like going crazy. And so like, mind you, he was also vaping like with the big old mechanical mod, so he's like throwing clouds out of the mask too. And so the dad obviously hears his kid like doing whatever noise he's doing, looks over, sees us and my buddy just losing his mind dancing the gorilla mask, and the dad loses it. He's laughing. He doesn't even care about the fact his kid's scared.
Oh, nice. I wasn't expecting that. I was on it. That's, well, kudos to him for having like a sense of humor, because I was thinking he would have been like giving you some glare or something.
I mean, honestly, how could you get mad? Like, it was the funniest thing. Like, it really was. It was funny watching my buddy just dance with this mask on. But dude, definitely dumb. I don't suggest anybody doing that much nowadays. But
good time for sure. That reminds me of something that I used to do too. So it was okay. I really have to throw a disclaimer here because I don't want you guys to hate me. I really don't. So this disclaimer is the year was 1977. No, it was 1997. I was 7 years old, okay? I had recently picked up skateboarding, thanks to Tony Hawk Pro Skater. Although maybe, when did that game come out? Because I might have my date messed up a little bit, but...
Oh, I couldn't tell you.
Well, somebody will fact check me. But the game had basically just come out. I remember I was still in elementary school for sure. And I and my friend would play little pranks on the people that were not, that were driving in their cars, because obviously we weren't driving. So I did some innocent ones. It was innocent. Like I would be, the person would be to my left and I would put my right finger outside of my nose to make it look like I was digging in my nose. Like going to town. Like I had like my face all cringed, like I was like getting to my brain. Like it was like really bad. And then I would look over and it didn't always work, but sometimes the person to my left would be staring at me laughing because like I like cringed kind of shut. Like I was like I don't know. Nobody digs in their nose like that.
You're itching your brain, man.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, come on. So I did that. So now I gave my disclaimer. It was a long time ago, and it's never something I would ever do again, ever in a million years. But I had my helmet with me in the back seat of the car because I usually was going to go skateboard at some places. And back then I wore a helmet like a smart person. So I would be sitting at the red light. And I mean, I got bored of doing the whole nose gag because like, that's not funny anymore. So then I'd put my helmet on. And it was a bicycle helmet. It wasn't like a skateboarding cool helmet. It was like a super big clunky bike helmet. And I just kind of like bob my head around and I'd look over at whoever was next to me. And if they made eye contact, I would start banging my head against the glass of... Sorry, it's so bad. And I would look up and meet their gaze and start contorting my face to look like I was screaming. But I wasn't, because I didn't want my mom to like hear me screaming. So I was just like silently like screaming with my face. And every time that this happened, they had the exact same reaction, which was eyes front, 10 and 2, and don't look back at that kid. And I'm so sorry, but it was so funny. And it's like I said, guys, this is a long time ago, man. I was a kid. I didn't, but...
Yeah, I mean, you're just... Well, I mean, not you. Well, yeah, you're lucky, but also lucky for your mom that she didn't, like, have somebody calling the cops. Like, yeah, I'm following this person. I think this kid got stolen. I don't know what's going on.
I don't know, man. And there was, like, even one where I, like, smiled, and they smiled back at me, and then I started banging my head off. Like, I don't know, man. I just did a bunch of stupid crap like that when I was little, of course, I would never do it ever again, but
that is awesome. Yeah, I mean, you're not harming anyone.
No. I mean,
who cares?
Kid, just a little kid.
Oh, that's so funny.
Oh man. So, Josh, you go ahead now, my friend.
Well, I don't think I can give as good of an ab workout as you just gave me there.
We shall see.
All right, well, as I was saying about the most well-known street, OBT, got another story from there. And as some of you may know, some of you may not know, OBT is a great deal of a street to find prostitutes, hookers, whatever you want to call them. And there was always one. So we have a Florida mall there, off OBT, and big area. It's a lot of people that go through there and whatnot. And there would always be a midget hooker. Oh,
I don't mean to laugh automatically, but I wasn't expecting it. That's all I'm trying to say.
There was always a midget hooker chilling outside, walking down the street, whatever. And I've seen her many times, and obviously I don't think of anything of it. I just think, wow. But one day, me and a few friends were in a car, and we seen her. We were like, oh man, we should go ask her. We should go talk to her, whatever. And
best idea.
Man, I don't know. I was driving, so I was kind of nervous because, like, I don't want to get pulled over for something like I'm not trying to do. Like a cop.
Yeah, right.
A cop's not gonna be like, yeah, 4 of you guys.
Look, I was just wanting to socialize, dude.
Yeah. So I was a little concerned, but I was like, all right, let's go. So we pull up, and my buddy he starts, hey, how's it going, blah, 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 talking to her and all this and that, and finally she's just like, yo, cut to the chase. What do you want? You want this, whatever. We don't understand any of the terms that she's saying.
Right.
So
right.
It was obviously like straight lingo for like sexual acts, but like we've never like heard them to like fully establish, okay, that's what you're getting. So we had no intention of paying for any of these services. And so my buddy, he rolls his window down finally because he didn't really care to talk. So he ends up rolling his window down. All right, well, how much? So, like, at first I was thinking, oh, maybe he's actually interested. Hold on, wait a minute.
Whoa,
and I was like, no, dude, don't let her in the car. Yeah. And so she names her price, whatever, and he's like, are you kidding me? You're half the woman. It should be half the price. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, all right, we're done. So we just take off. And dude, she was like, we could see her like kind of trying to chase us. Obviously not gonna happen, but
Oh my god.
I was just like, dude, I cannot believe you said that.
He's like, yeah, dude, that was woo.
Oh man.
That's all.
Yeah, so I bet you nowadays she's like souped up. She's probably got one of those hoverboards now too, like just strolling down the street.
Oh, I'm sure.
That'd be cool.
I'm sure, dude. I mean, she probably did really, really well, just out of curiosity for somebody that's like, huh? You know?
What are you trying to say? Would you be curious about a midget?
What? What?
It makes me feel bigger.
I gotta go. Oh, yeah. As far as things that are random and not expected, I actually have something too to kind of go on par with that. So when I first started plumbing 10 long years ago, we were in like really bad traffic every single day. Traffic was horrible in Austin. Pre-COVID, you're in it for an hour in the morning and an hour at night at least. And we were sitting and waiting, just sitting in traffic. I was an apprentice. I did not have my own van at the time. And I was sitting passenger seat and I was on my phone, just kind of sitting around. Well, a quick blur went zooming past the passenger seat where I was at. And I looked up and I saw a man riding a bike with literally nothing on but a bright blue G-string.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it was. And I was like, Joe, who was next to me, Joe, whoa. And he's like, oh, yeah, man, he's here all the time. Like, that's like his thing. Like, he does that all the time. Like, what? I noticed that. And he's like, I just usually didn't go out this far. Usually he's over down, and he was saying other streets that he was usually at. And I was just like, kind of blown away.
Wow. And so you guys have like your own naked guitarist like New York has? It's just a naked bicyclist?
I mean,
That's practically naked, man. A G-string for a dude? I'm sorry. What can you hide with that?
Not a lot. I never saw the front view, just the back view. But
good for you.
I knew what it was because he was like kind of lifted up a little bit to gain like momentum, to gain speed. You know how you do that when you're on a bike. And you're like, whoa, oh my god, that's a thing. That's what he did. So it was very interesting. But apparently he does that. But I have not seen it since. God, it's probably been about 9 years because I saw him a few times that same year and never again. It was just like kind of like a myth. Except
I don't know, man.
I know it was.
Should have the cops do like a wellness checkup or something.
Yeah, well, I mean, I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, it is Austin, and like seriously, the slogan of Austin is "Keep Austin Weird" because there's a lot of weird stuff that goes on in Austin. But I'm not downtown a lot, so I missed a lot of it, which is probably okay. Although it would be really good, ammunition for the podcast to be like, hey, guess what I saw downtown today? Holy crap. But I don't really have a whole lot of that because I'm not there. So yeah, that was interesting. So you got another one to tell us?
Oh yeah, I got one. So there was a time me and my buddy had a nicer, I guess, collector car or just a. I'm not a car guy, so I can't really say, but maybe the other car people will understand.
Yeah.
He had a Fiero, and I guess was like the high-end car. Honestly, it kind of looked like a miniature Ferrari in a sense.
Yeah.
So it was a pretty nice car, but it was an older car and needed some work done, and him and his dad were working on it and whatnot. At one point, we're driving in between our houses. Like, I had gone over to his house, and then we started driving back over to my house. We didn't live too far away from each other, maybe a good 5-minute drive, so nothing crazy. And, we were cruising. We weren't doing anything wrong. He was going the speed limit and all that. All of a sudden, we're getting pulled over. And me and him are like sweating. We're freaking out. We're like, why? What happened? What'd you do? And so we pull over, and the cop like just kind of like a shark circles around us in his car and rolls his window down once he gets to the driver's side. And so me and my buddy are like, what the fuck is going on?
This is bad.
Yeah, and so he rolls his window down, And he's like, hey, man, what's up? And the cop's like, yeah, I just wanted to talk to you about the car. And we were like, oh, bullet dodged.
Yeah. Well, let me, get out and walk far away from you to talk about it.
Yeah. And so, yeah, we were at the time in possession of controlled substances. Ooh. And so we were absolutely terrified the entire time.
Yeah. True.
And so, like, I know nothing about the car. I'm just sitting in the passenger seat, like, flipping shits, trying to, like, maintain my cool. And my buddy, he's talking to the cop about the car. And then the cop asks for directions somewhere to some neighborhood if we knew what a neighborhood was. And that's what we thought. Like, we didn't. Like, he didn't say anything to him, like, oh, don't you know that? And he's like, oh, no, we really don't know where that's at. And the cop's like, all right, no problem. Well, you guys have a good one. Take care. And he just drives off.
What kind of cop are you? Like a drifter? Like, you just like...
Dude, for real. It was so strange. And, like, he rolled the window up and we thought to ourselves, he has a GPS in his car. Like, why the hell is he asking where something is? That's just weird.
Straight up, like twists in the plot. You guys were hallucinating the whole thing.
Dude, that would be insane.
Like, there's like video of you just standing outside your car talking to the air, like blah, 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 blah.
No, we never got out of the car. That was the crazier part. The cop never got out of his car. He just rolled his window down after circling us like a shark. Rolled his window down, so my buddy rolled his window down like, what's up?
Like, okay, and I'm actually glad you brought that up, because that seriously made me think of something. There was once a time where my mom got pulled over by a cop because he wanted to get her phone number.
Oh.
Yeah, and my mom was pissed because she was in a hurry.
That's creeper status.
She needed and so. Like, what if you guys were in a hurry or something? Like, come on, man. Like,
well, not just a hurry, but like if you were like on your way to an emergency,
yeah,
or something. Like, dude, I would have like, I don't know. I pretty much would have just like got back in my car and like sped home or wherever I was going purposely and like called the 911 while I'm going there. Yeah, I have a cop abusing power trying to pull me over and get my phone number.
Yeah, that's total BS. Like that, like when she told me that, I was like, what? She's like, yeah, I was pissed. I'm like, I would have been too.
Yeah.
For good reason. Another thing I don't understand, and I guess I don't have any more like legit stories. So I don't know if you do, if we've missed anything that you wanted to bring up.
No, not necessarily. Let's see. I guess I could talk about like a fight that like it's really like not too eventful. I was just driving and happened to notice two guys kind of pushing and shoving, getting a little altercation with each other, and thankfully I was paying attention, man, because dude, if I wasn't, I would have ended up hitting the one guy that got pushed into the road. And thankfully, there was nobody behind me because I was able to slam on my brakes and, stop. So I avoided hitting the guy, thankfully. But I was so mad. I was like, oh my God, dude, like, what the hell? Like, what are you doing?
Right?
Like, he basically almost killed this guy and made me the accessory to it, and I was just like flabbergasted. I couldn't believe it, and I was just like, all right. So I noticed all the people that were coming up behind me. I guess they were kind of seeing what was going on and going around already.
Yeah.
So I was able to like kind of throw it in reverse and just go around because, dude, like I wanted no part of it. Like at the time I was really young, so like one of these two dudes were just about to like whoop my ass too if I got out of the car.
Yeah.
So
hold on now.
Yeah, I just watched you try and push a guy out of the middle of the car. I don't know what you're gonna do to me, so I'm out.
Yeah.
Good luck, guy. and if you're listening, I'm glad you're here.
Like, I'm good. Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just one of those things I could not believe that. Like I was more so just happy like I wasn't one of those people that like sitting there texting on my phone because like it could have been a huge really bad thing, and thankfully did not turn into such.
Well, yeah, because then it would have been just like, well, he was doing this and he was doing this and he was on his phone. Like, I wasn't on my phone. Like,
yeah. Yeah, no, it's just something that was thankfully avoided, and I mean, I hope the best outcome for both individuals involved, but it was it was something I was going to put past me and just walk away.
Yeah, I would have too. That's, man. Yeah, I don't blame you there. So
I know some people are probably like, "Oh, well, you should have called the cops." I didn't want to stick around. You know, this is Florida.
yeah, I was
a lot of these people carry guns.
You did the Floridian thing.
Yeah.
Well, you know what?
did.
Actually, the Floridian thing would have been to like join in or take your shirt off or something. I don't know.
Honestly, a lot of us Floridians, we just mind our own business. We like, if you want to cause a muck, that's fine. Just you leave us out of it, and we'll leave you alone.
Right? Yeah, exactly. So, God, that's crazy. So, that being said, we can move on to our topic discussion, which is all sorts of different things revolving cars, traffic, whatnot. So, one thing that I've noticed that's kind of always irritated me in a way is in movies and TV shows, whenever there's like traffic in like a scene, why is there constant horns honking in traffic? Because that's not how traffic is.
I mean,
always like, why? Why are so many people honking?
So I made the awful mistake of driving in New York through all 5 boroughs. So we went up there for vacation. My wife told me, all right, we don't need to rent a car or anything. We'll take the subway. So I was like, no. I'm going to rent a car. I don't mind driving.
I want to drive in the city.
Yeah, I don't mind driving, you know. It won't be that bad. Like, then we can go wherever we want, whenever we want. We don't have to wait on anything or make a schedule around it.
Right.
Dude, half the schedule we had was wiped because I couldn't get from point A to point B because of the traffic. Like, it's actually kind of like that there in New York.
Wow. Well, then I stand corrected.
But it's just there. I mean, even Florida with the worst driving, it's not as bad. But with New York, in the city, when you're driving through those boroughs, you got all these like one-way roads or something, and people are just walking everywhere, dude. Nobody cares about anything. It's insane.
God dang. Well, I mean, I know New York is like a whole different ballgame when it comes to traffic and stuff, for sure.
Yeah, no, they need to like restructure their traffic patterns. It's insane over there.
I don't like what were they thinking when they were like building the city? Like,
dude, they weren't. They didn't care. They're like, everybody can walk, which, I mean, yeah, you could, I guess. But if you don't live in the city, like, it sucks.
They can use pogo sticks.
Yeah, I would use a pogo stick. Why not?
Well, yeah, but I mean, get real here. These businessmen with briefcases trying to pogo stick around the city. Like, what is that, like a requirement to be in New York City? Like, you can't bike, you can only pogo stick.
Dude, I would say that would be pretty fun to like kind of pogo stick and like in the crosswalk in traffic, like when they're at the red light, you just like kind of hop on all the white rectangles, like boom, boom, and like just pretend to fall, like, and just like see what happens.
Yeah, but then you just gotta like, you'd like imagine landing on somebody's foot, like somebody's like flip-flopped foot. Right there. Boom!
Should have wore steel toe shoes. Bye.
It's a new New York City where everyone's on pogo sticks.
Yeah, I mean, they're already wearing, like, most of them are already wearing their little Timberlands and whatnot. Like, put some steel toe shoes in the Timberlands. It's okay.
Yeah. That way, my problem doesn't become your problem.
Oh, man, could you imagine Uggs with, like, steel toes?
That would look just awful. I mean, I can't even. And so talking about that briefly, again, here I go going off tangent. We're gonna talk about roads and traffic. Hey, you want to hear about steel toe boots? That's kind of what I'm about to do here. Like, there's steel toe boots are great, but they're also not great because there's stories where like a truck would back over your steel toe boots and your steel toe would sever all of your toes.
Yeah, you'll bend that plate and whatnot because it won't break. I prefer composite toe because, well, at least when I worked.
Yeah, I mean,
Plus, they're lighter.
Yeah, and you'll break your toes. You won't just, like, totally lose them.
Yeah. I mean, I know toes add to the majority of your balance, but I think, like, a really quick chop wouldn't hurt as badly than like having them totally crushed.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
I mean, I don't know. I could be wrong.
Let's get out on our next segment of I don't know, desperation for clicks. So I'm gonna cut all my toes off my left foot and break all the toes on my right.
And we're gonna compare which was worse.
Dude, there is a video, and I don't know where it is. And once again, here I am going off tangent. It's gonna happen. There's a video of a guy. I saw this years ago, man, like before my oldest was born. So it's over 10 years old. The dude has a list of things like paintball, pepper spray, kick in the nuts, smacked across the face, all sorts of things. And he goes through all of those things on video in like under a minute. And the reason is to which one is the worst? Like, which one is the worst out of all of those things? And turns out it was the pepper spray. So, just so you know.
I think the real reason was for like the 5 seconds of fame, but hey, kudos, man.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we're talking about them now, and there's 7 billion people listening right now. So, geez.
Absolutely.
He's getting a pretty big shout out right now.
And where's all our CEOs at? Shout out to the CEOs.
Dude, they're here. They're listening. We're gonna end up probably getting some of them mad at some point. So yeah, I always thought that was funny. Like, you know, there'd be people in bumper to bumper traffic, and one guy, like the main character's like, "Come on, brr, brr." I'm like, what is that gonna solve for you, dude? Like, wow.
I will say it's solved absolutely nothing for me in New York. But
yeah, but everyone's doing it.
Oh yeah.
Like imagine like, come on, honk, honk, and then the guy in front's like, okay, and just like rear ends the dude in front of him, like, well, he told me to go. I mean, what do you want? He told me to go. And then everybody's just rear ending everybody. Yeah. So I thought that was funny. And then also to kind of like segue it into another thing I wanted to talk about is the movie Speed with Keanu Reeves, which is awesome, which I like a lot. Good movie. And you've seen it too, which is why I was wanting to talk about it a little bit. I just don't see how that would ever be able to happen in real life with like a bomb and you can't go, what was it, under 50?
I believe it was 60.
60. Like, that's
I
chaos.
could be right. You know what? It probably is 50. I don't even think a bus can go 60 to begin with. So that, I don't know. I don't remember the exact speed, so don't quote me on it. But
yeah, I don't either.
Either speed, that is a ridiculous stretch to say that they can go on almost the entire movie without slowing down or stopping.
A single time in a bus? Come on. And I think there was a part where they're like, it's almost 5 o'clock traffic. And they're like, did some crazy stuff to get out of it. But, man.
Yeah, I think they had like cops like routing them and stuff. And, you know.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
That just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen that quick.
Oh, my God, yeah. Could you imagine if crap like that happened often in real life?
Well, yeah. And I was going to say, we're sitting here like judging it as if like it said based on a true story, but that's obviously not the case.
Well, what if it did and you missed it, John?
I mean, maybe it's in the credits.
Well, I mean, yeah.
It's in the after credits. Like, Keanu Reeves is like, so this was based on a true story, and I'm here with the family now. I want to give them everything that I can because I'm the greatest actor in the world and the nicest human being.
He is great.
He is. He's a great person. I mock him in a funny way, but no, I totally
but he's such a great person. If he saw that you were mocking him, he'd be like, you do you, man. Like, it's cool.
Yeah, you know? And Keanu Reeves, if you are listening,
he is,
and you want to come on the show, please let us know.
You gotta understand this by now. He is listening. They all are.
Well, he needs to come on the show. We need to talk to him.
Nick's delusional. Yeah. So yeah. I just thought that was interesting. That it was like how dumb the movie would be if they were like, the bomb is set to go off if you can't go under 1 mile per hour. Oh, okay.
That's fine. Good.
So like we can walk outside of it?
Well, no. All you gotta do is get a high enough speed and just jump out.
Well, no. They said if you jump out, they'll blow it up. He's got cameras. He's watching it on the news.
Oh yeah. No, I forgot that part.
Yeah. There was like a whole list of crap you couldn't do, and that was
they were getting. See, I don't remember the story too much. It's been a while, but I could have sworn they were like getting people out. Like there was another truck like driving next to them, and they were like letting people off the bus.
Oh yeah, they did. No, they did that because they did like some type of blind spot or something with the cameras. Like they coordinated some like blind spot, and they like quickly got some people off, and then they like the cameras came back or some crap. I'm probably way off, but I remember there's like a window that they had to get people off.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, I remember. Like it's been a while, so.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we did our homework. We're gonna talk about a movie we've neither seen in like a long time.
That's all right.
Hey, who cares? Dude, Mindless, right? I mean, we're kind of embracing the name here.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are the mindless.
Yeah. And so also talking about like traffic and the realism of certain things. Like the frequency of traffic has changed so much since COVID. Like,
has it?
It's crazy because before there was traffic, like I had said before, an hour in the morning and an hour in the evening, and now like not at all. Like I can just go home from work and not be stuck in any traffic at all, unless there's an accident.
I don't know. I mean, that potentially sounds like it's like either a bad sign or I mean, I don't know. Like to me, I guess that would signify that many people like don't have anything to do, meaning they lost their jobs or something. But
oh yeah, that's bad.
It could also just mean that.
I think.
Actually, I don't know what else it would mean. I guess that's all.
I'm gonna go. Crap. I am gonna go off on a limb and say that there's a lot of office jobs in Austin, and a lot of those people can work from home now.
Yeah, that's true.
And
too.
so they're doing that. Like they're just doing that. But you know, there is like. Now I'm going to talk about economics. There is like a thing that's like when there's not people at the office, then there's less people getting lunch. So then the restaurants take a hit. So then they lay off people. And then it's like this crazy domino effect whenever like an industry does something different, something like that. So, but I feel like a lot of people are working from home still. And that's probably going to be like a new thing because these companies are still doing okay being office jobs, and people are set up to do it at home. So I feel like they'll be fine. And then that's just going to be like the new norm. Like, oh, I'm going to work from home like indefinitely because, and then the office doesn't have to have this massive like building anymore. They can scale down quite a bit.
Yeah. And I mean, granted the pandemic going on, I wonder if these companies have a way to see that like their statistics are doing better with the employees working from home than what they would have been doing not working from home. But probably hard to get those numbers with a lot less business going through, I'd imagine.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it would be a nice set of data to prove, like working from home is better for the people. Yeah.
Well, and they're going to have something like that if they don't already. I mean, I don't keep up to date with much. I'm pretty mindless. Oh, he said it. So yeah. So yeah, I've just been wondering about that as well. So we talked about like before and after COVID and how it affected traffic. And you don't drive a whole lot, so you may not know as much about that as before. But I don't know why, but for some reason I thought of this. But did you guys, whenever you had your cars, did y'all ever get like customized license plates?
So like when I was younger and like didn't really have a car yet, but thought about when I get my car, I'm gonna have like my license plate say badass or it was always something stupid. But no, I never actually went through with it.
No, those are taken. Like
yeah, well it wasn't that. It was when I went to the DMV and they're like, oh, that costs extra. I was like, oh, I can't customize it for free? Okay.
Yeah, never mind then. Dream died.
Yeah.
Like that's my dream to like have a custom license plate. If I ever had a custom license plate, and I never will, Caitlin would be like, no. I would want it to say, I'm driving. I don't know why. It's just so
That's a good one.
It's so stupid, but I just like I'm driving. Like, huh, okay, yeah. I mean, that's great. But there's one guy that got his license plate. I guess he was like a programmer or something. And he got his license plate null, Null is what he made his license plate. And basically what that means in like the coding world, like, Josh, is like,
doesn't exist.
There's no valid info here. It does not exist. Exactly. So he was like, this is a cool idea. Well, he ended up getting $12,000 in parking tickets that did not belong to him because whenever a cop would like issue a parking ticket, if they did not write the license plate number down, then the computer would, guess what? They would title it null. So this dude would get dozens and dozens of parking tickets sent to him because his license plate was null.
Was it in like the same city or state or just from all over? That'd be hilarious.
Oh my God, that's a good question. I mean, I'm not sure. Probably the state. Because I think you can get, and please, nobody quote me on this crap because this is just mindless. I'm just mindless.
We're not legal advisors.
This is mindless shit right here. So I think you can get the same license plate in a different state. Like I can have like California could be like I'm driving and Texas can be I'm driving and it's cool. But you can't do the same one in the same state.
Yeah, I have no idea. I can't comment to that.
I'm probably somehow wrong, but whatever. We're gonna let it fly because we just are. And people do a lot of like weird stuff to their cars, like oh my God, like the testicles that hang from the trucks.
I don't get that, man. I really don't. Like,
I don't either. Like, what else? What else would like? You wouldn't see that on like a bicycle. Like, I would put it on a bicycle,
dude. I would put it like on one of those little, not a Segway. What are those scooters? Like a Vespa or something. I would put it on one of those. just to strut, but like, I mean, honestly, like. It's just one of those things I see and I'm like, I laugh because, I mean, I'm immature, it's funny, but
it was like,
it's stupid.
If you saw one on like a bicycle, it'd be like against the back wheel, just like, brr, 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 you know?
Oh, man. Yeah, no, there's no real point to them other than for like the pleasing aesthetic of humor.
The cheap laugh that somebody might have, like somebody immature like us, like, oh, look at balls, you know, like whatever. But
I laugh when I see the ones that are fully blue.
Oh, I haven't seen those. Wow.
Oh yeah, blue balls.
Hey, you know, I wonder. This would be interesting, and I'd love to find this out from one of those 7 billion of you. If you were to get a set of metallic testicles for your vehicle. This is some highbrow conversation. Where's my wine? And you drove it, and you set it to where the testicles dragged on the asphalt, and they created a ton of sparks. For one, it'd be hilarious. Would that be legal?
Yeah. Sparky nuts. I don't know, man. I don't think it would be.
I know, but I would love to hear the conversation of the police officer telling you why you can't have that. Like, why not?
Oh, son, we don't want you dragging your sack across our roads, okay?
Come on, they're sparking, man. Yeah. So, yeah, and then you'd have some cop on person road rage or vice versa. I've never been big on road rage though.
No, as in like you don't participate in it, or like you just.
I don't. Okay, I will not participate because there's too many people that drive around with guns, and if you're going to be a jackass, you never know what that other jackass is going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I'm all for road rage, man. Like, I don't do anything like crazy. This actually like literally just popped in my head, and it's so funny. So a friend of mine, I won't name drop, but if he is listening, he probably isn't, but if he is, he'll know, but he'd be cool with it. He got cut off twice by the same car, and he was like, well, come on, you know? And he got in the left lane and just sped past that car and just flipped the bird out the right side of the window. Like he just like held it out there and flipped the bird and just was like, oh, you know, like really mad. And then he looked and it was an elderly lady. Like, I mean, super old, like shouldn't have been driving clearly, but he was like, I felt so bad because he was just like, you know, and she was looking at him too. So she saw it and he was like, I just felt so bad. Like I just like flipped off this like super old. I didn't know. I would feel bad too, just because like it's somebody's grandma. But dude, like they shouldn't be on the road, man. I've been in the car with like my grandma while she's driving, and it is terrifying. She should not be driving, and she pretty much doesn't anymore. But like it's bad. So
stay home, please. You'll save lives because. You know, like the whole COVID thing, and then also You're a killing machine.
Absolutely. No, it's crazy. You know what? It's funny though too, because I had been cut off one time by an older person, and when I had pulled up and flipped him off, I realized it was a much older man.
Yeah.
And like this guy is probably like in his 70s, and dude, this guy, I couldn't do anything because he got me. He got me so good. He looked over at me after I flipped him off and just like started air jerking.
What did you do
and like and gave me this look, and I was just like, wait, what?
I mean, yeah, seriously, well played. Well played.
I laughed. I was so mad, but I laughed because there was nothing I could do.
Like that's I want to start doing that to everyone now about everything.
Well, I mean, you probably wouldn't get away with it. It was because this is like some 70-plus-year-old dude doing it.
Yeah, that's true.
And it was just so funny to me.
Great. Oh, I love it.
But yeah, now I have bad road rage, man.
Oh, wow. I'm such a nice angel, man. I'm just like, it's okay. I mean, you're fine.
Nah, man, you're in a vehicle. Like, pay attention to what you're doing. You can really hurt people out here. And like, if
that's true. Well, you're being all like responsible about it, and I'm just like, whatever.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm sure you drive responsibly. It's just like, I do. I will not drive responsibly. Like, I will allegedly speed and whatnot to get away from the crowd of traffic just to avoid being around stupid.
Well, I mean, you're in the state where it's really hard to get away from it, from what I've understood.
It is. It really is.
I mean, if y'all don't know about the Florida Challenge, it's really funny.
I don't even think I know about the Florida Challenge. There's so many.
Oh, dude. Okay, there's so many. I think I've talked about it a long time. Okay, so basically, it's a Google search.
Oh.
Yeah, you know this.
Oh, yeah. I forgot what mine was.
Florida man, and then your birthday, and then you get to see what happened. That's usually like 99% of the time. It's really crazy and like stupid, but it's hilarious. So it's like, my birthday.
Yeah, I think mine just said Josh was born, and that was it. Florida Josh was born.
Florida Josh. Run! Yeah. So since we are big gamers, I did want to also talk about traffic in video games. And I know that sounds weird, but it is a thing, because if any of you guys played Grand Theft Auto, like, because you could get in your car or like a truck and park in like the highway and just stand outside your car, and then all of the cars will line up, and you have this massive like 35, 40 car like traffic jam started, and then you can just start like checking grenades in cars, and it's a video game, so it's crazy. But
sounds fun. I will say though, Grand Theft Auto is pretty realistic in the sense that like when I'm trying to really drive fast, there's always that one car that wants to try and get in front of me. Like I try to avoid it, but it's like it goes in the same lane that I just went into. It's
right?
like, what are you doing? Like, were you programmed to mess with me?
Probably. But then also like the game Red Dead Redemption, which is totally different. I mean, it's what, 1911 or something in that game, so it's like wagons and horses,
stagecoaches.
Yeah. But you can create traffic jams the same way. You can stand out with your horse and just park your horse in the middle of it.
Hold on, I need to feed my horse.
You just like, you let all of the buildup of wagons and stuff, and then you can do the same thing you can do in Grand Theft Auto. You can throw sticks of dynamite instead of grenades, and it's hilarious. I mean, I did this because I had beaten the game and I was kind of bored, and so I noticed that just stagecoaches and horses and like they just kept spawning. So I was like, this is interesting, and I just created this massive backlog of carriages and wagons and started throwing dynamite, and it was a good time. So if any of you guys are playing that game, it's pretty fun.
Yeah, I never played Red Dead too much. I played it a bit, but nothing crazy heavy. I mostly bought it for the online play, which in the beginning was a total fail, but yeah.
It's a good one. It's definitely a good one.
You think their horns are like cowbells? Just beating on the cowbell?
No, their horns are, get out of the way, dumbass! Because they straight up do that. And in the new one, it's even better because you can make your guy I don't remember the buttons, but it's like square to say something nice and triangle to say something mean. So you can like pick fights with NPCs, like just walking.
That's
Like you can be
awesome.
like, yeah, you can just like say like, hey, did you wake up ugly or what? And then they're like, what'd you say? And then you can say another thing, and he's like, get out of my face. And he's like, screw you. And then he'll start swinging, and then you can start fighting him. Or you can let him hit you and then run to the sheriff, and the sheriff will arrest him. And it's like, you started this fight, and then this like, oh, yeah.
No, I liked some of the like. You definitely come across a lot of really, really weird stuff in Red Dead. There was one I was just like walking by like in a town, and all of a sudden like somebody from the like bottom basement area where there's like a little window, he's like calling for me to come help him, and he's like, oh, I've been kidnapped, I'm down here, whatever. So you go and save him. Like, so you go into the store and you hold the guy at gunpoint, whatever, and you tell him to open the door and let you out, or let that guy out.
Yeah.
Well, you go down there and he's in like a little, I don't even know, like a little kid's outfit, like little Johnny, cute overalls, little hat, you know.
Oh my God.
And I was just like, what the heck? And the guy's like, I'm sorry, listen, you know, I lost my son and he just reminded me of him, so I kept him here. And the guy's like, you're weird, man. I don't know who you are. You just kept me down here. And it's just like, it's one of those things in the game. It's like, wow, that's really weird. Like, it wasn't a part of any story. It was just something that's there that you can come across. And it was so, they have a lot of weird, wacky things in there, but
yes,
that was definitely one that like caught my attention, of just like the weird randomness you can get into in that.
Yeah. And I mean, Rockstar, they're really great about stuff, and they do stuff like that in Grand Theft Auto and Red Dead. They're just like kings of that thing. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, they definitely have a very good formula with their games going.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah, they really do.
To me, it's insane how long the Grand Theft Auto, the 5 mainly, has lasted.
Whew, God, well, it's starting to piss people off, though, really. I mean, it's like people are like, okay, we're ready for 6 now. It's been quite a bit.
It's definitely coming, man. I know a lot of people excited for it.
Yeah, I am too, for sure. Like, I have enough time, but, you know, whatever. We'll see. God, like, I wish I could just stay up and do whatever I wanted all night, but I would end up falling asleep while I'm driving or some shit. But I've also wanted to talk about, while we're here, conditions on the road, because I am from Texas, but I lived in Iowa for 3 years, and I drove on ice, like actual driving on ice. And it was like the scariest driving experience of my life. And people are probably like, no, you're being dramatic. No, I'm not. It sucked. I did it for 3 years. I lived there. And the very first winter I was there was like the worst winter they've had in like so long. And it was the very first real winter I've ever experienced. So the very first time it got really cold to like freeze, it rained the night before, and then it froze, and then it snowed, and I still had to work. And also, like, from those of you if you were listening to the first episode, I work outside, and that did not change when I lived there. So I worked outside in that crap, but eventually I'll have stories about that experience, because it was...
So you said you lived there 3 years dealing with driving on the snow. Did you actually have proper snow tires at least?
No, not at all.
Oh, man.
No, dude, I was driving a 1991 Honda Accord when I was up there, and it was really shitty. Like, I remember, like, the very first morning, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go to work, and I go outside, and I'm just like, oh my God. So I got in the van, or I got in the car, because I just had my crappy car, and I'm driving, and it was like driving through the apocalypse, dude, because every mile at least, and I had to drive 20 miles to the plumbing shop that I worked at. I was driving there, and every single mile there was a car on the side of the road, like just like off into a snowbank. Like they just, it was so crazy. And I'm trying to drive straight, but the way that I drove straight was by turning my wheel to the right, because I was pretty much just sliding in a direction. And like, oh, just thinking about it right now, I was like, no, I could never do it again. It was so bad.
If I'm not mistaken, I mean, I know hydroplaning is similar to like driving on ice and whatnot when you lose control. If I'm not mistaken, though, you're to regain control, you're kind of supposed to put the wheel in the direction you're heading.
Yes.
Not so much the opposite way, because that's what will make you keep going back and forth and back.
No. You're supposed to, like, if you take like a hard left turn and you start like skidding, you're supposed to turn your wheel to the right. Really? They say to turn into the skid.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
Well, see, I would have gone off the road if it weren't for you, Nick.
Yeah.
Not that I plan on hydroplaning anytime soon, but
well, God, it's gonna start snowing in Florida here any minute now.
No, hydroplane.
That's from the water. Yeah. That happens there a lot.
Actually, it could start snowing in Florida soon.
Really?
In fact, no, it won't. But something that is cool for any Florida listeners, I want to say it's Dade City County, whatever. They're getting this huge snow slope, like a slide, like 60 foot tall, like 400 feet long, slide down a snow.
Damn.
In Florida.
It's indoors. It has to be, right?
When I was looking at the picture, it was not indoors. It was outdoors. So
what? I guess, man, they're gonna have some mad machinery to keep that thing cold.
That's what I'm thinking. That like they have to be pumping like a lot of energy just to keep that, because dude, that's ridiculous.
Well, which means to go there, you have to spend like a ton of money, because that's got to be so expensive to keep that up.
Yeah, I imagine to bring snow to Florida, like that's kind of just one of those things that you just don't see around here very often. You don't even see like indoor ice rinks around here too much. Like they're very few and far in between, and so snow's, I guess, a pretty big deal, and I guess highly profitable here in in Florida. So if you guys ever happen to want to bring some snow down and make money.
Yeah, well, I mean, and that's stuff that a lot of people would pay for, because that's something that some people have never done in their entire life. Like, it's like natives there, just no idea. So
that's true. I just feel like, because it literally looks to me like it's only a giant slope. So like you're going there just to slide, and that's it. You're not playing in the snow. You're just sliding, and that's it. I could be wrong. I hope that's not the case.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'll definitely have to research it more, but it sounds interesting to say the least.
$50 a slide.
Yeah, no thanks.
No, not happening.
Yeah, I'll tape some ice cubes to myself and slide down my hallway.
That's such a great idea. You should do it. you do that while I'm severing off my toes with a steel toe boot.
Oh yeah. You gotta keep me posted on that.
Your job's a lot easier than mine. Hold on now. Wait a minute. So we are going to end up wrapping up here somewhat quick. There's a few things that we still kind of had to talk about, but we are definitely going to get back to stuff like this often, for sure. But we kind of have a bone to pick with each other, me and Josh do. Because there was a saying that everybody knows. Everybody knows this saying, and it's, everything happens for a reason. And I think it's bullshit. And Josh is like, no, it's true. So, Josh, do you want to explain your reasoning, or do you want me to explain my reasoning first?
All right, so I have two like different reasonings. Like I have just like a logical reasoning and then a philosophical reasoning. My logical reasoning, since it's pretty short and sweet, is we've all gone to school and learned cause and effect, right?
Yes.
You get an effect only because of a cause. That cause is that reason the effect has happened. So to me, that's how I think of it. It just seems pretty straightforward and logical. I do have a philosophical way, but it's a bit longer of an explanation. So I want to hear yours out first before I shut you down.
Okay. Well, I am speaking from just straight emotion and passion, where I cannot see a reason, period, for so many terrible, crappy things that have happened in the world. No reason. Like, I will use an example, and it's like somebody losing their kid. Total, like, horrible, should never happen to anybody. I don't ever see a reason for that being something that you can say to somebody like, well, there's a reason for everything, everything happens for a reason. No, screw you. No, go away. Don't ever tell that to me if anything ever happened to anybody like that. So,
I mean, it's going to make me look like the bad guy, but I still stand by it.
Yeah, you're going to say like, well, the kid would have grown up to have been evil.
No, well, maybe. He could have been. You never know, but... God. I mean, what was it, Deadpool, that he went in the after credits, went back and killed baby Hitler or something?
Yes, it was. Yes.
So, but all right. So again, I know this is gonna sound bad, but it is what it is.
Oh boy.
Everything that happens kind of serves a purpose. It's to teach you some kind of lesson to some degree, and I know it sounds terrible. Like there's. I mean, I'm somebody who's gone through depression and bad, painful things, but it happens, and it's one of those things that you have to once you have broken through all the obstacles of those emotions and whatnot, you can reflect on everything that you did to overcome all that and grow from it, and basically it's going to help you find newfound strengths in yourself so that you can overcome these experiences on a future date. And you got to think, man, if these, I know it sounds bad still, but if none of these things happened, if life was just like totally perfect, if there was like no pain, no sickness, no drama, nothing, everything was, you wake up on time, you're never hungry, you eat your breakfast, everything is just smooth sailing, it would be boring.
Well, now here is my comeback with that. I agree with the everything happens for a reason, depending on the circumstance. Now, I'm not going to say like, okay, my computer broke. Well, crap. Okay, well, now I need to get a new one. Everything happens for a reason. I got a new computer and I'm all set. Sure. Yeah. So that would still mean the world is not boring. If we could live in a world where the worst of the worst didn't happen, I would be fine with that. And so would everybody. But it's when the most tragic things happen is when I disagree and say, no, screw you. Not everything happens for a reason. No. But if it's something like, menial, life would still be life. You'd still have your drama with whoever you're having with, or you'd still be fighting with somebody, or you'd still be breaking shit or losing, stuff, or like, I lost my car keys and they fell down a grate in a sewer and they got swept away. Okay, that's fine. Everything happens for a reason, sure. But when it comes with like something super traumatic and like with a child or something, no reason ever. Because then it's like, I'm just saying.
I see it. I understand what you're saying. And I get it. It's just not, it's not my way of thinking. For me, the most important lessons are going to be the hardest ones to swallow. And dude, I've had to go through a lot at a point in time where like dealing with certain deaths that have really affected me. But dude, I can look back at them now and honestly say like, yeah, they happened for a reason. And it sucks. Like, I know it sounds terrible. Like, it really sucks for the family that lost that individual.
Sure.
But you got to think in the same sense, it probably did a lot of good for that family too. Not in a bad way, but like bringing them closer together when, families sometimes are really broken until things like that happen. And unfortunately, it's sad that, you have to wait till something's gone to appreciate it. But I mean, that's just how everything is. That like, you have to learn everything. You have to learn how to take everything from all these experiences. You have to like, you may not ever get another chance to experience some of these feelings in your life again, and good or bad, it's worth the growth. And my advice is just keep a fighting spirit, tackle everything head on logically, and never fear going back into a struggle, because not important, but some of the most amazing things have been done from failures. I mean, everything pretty much has been done from some kind of failure to a degree.
Well spoken. Well spoken.
So that is my philosophical mic drop. Boom.
I like it. I like it. I still disagree, but that's because I just can't. I
know
can't wrap my head
around. It's not a thought process for everybody.
Okay. Like, no, I mean, I definitely understand where you're coming from with it, for sure.
Yeah. I mean, I'm sorry. I know it sounds really bad.
I just cannot get my head to be like, I accept. I'm like, no. I just couldn't do it. So, whew. Now we've left you at a philosophical thought where you're wondering.
Yeah, let us know your take on this debate. Whose side are you on? Are you on Team Nick or Team Josh?
Oh, probably Nick, because he's so nice and
he sounds sexy.
I do, or I don't know.
While I was editing the whole podcast.
Oh yeah,
great.
You're gonna have fun doing this one.
I'm gonna make your argument so invalid in the edit.
You're just gonna chop up everything I say and be like, "Man, he sucks." I don't even know. Like, he doesn't even know how to talk. Oh my god! It would just be me like going like, "Yeah, well, really? No." Like, oh god. All right, guys, so we are going to end up signing off, but let us know anything you want. Talk to us next week. I think we should do a topic about our jobs and jobs that we've had, jobs that we'd like, jobs that we want, jobs that we need. So then also you can send us stories that you've had from your job or a past job, because jobs. Now job sounds like a weird word because I've said it so many times.
Steve Jobs.
Oh yeah, he's not invited.
Nobody with Apple's invited.
Yeah, screw you, Apple.
But if you guys have managed to stay with us this long, we definitely appreciate it, and we certainly hope you tune in next week to partake in our nonsense
because
some more.
There will be more. I can't wait. All right, cool, guys. Well, we will talk to you later. Oh, god dang it. I love you all so much.
Oh yeah, we forgot the crying segment.
I'm not.
Ah, Nick.
I'm good.
The CEOs aren't going to sponsor us.
They already did.
Oh, okay, cool. Good.
It's
Why didn't you tell me this earlier?
All right, you guys, take care.
Have a good one, everyone.
Yeah.